when Paulie and I were in the Navy together back in the mid '80s. So the Chicago Bears won the Super Bowl in 1985. Part of one of our cruises, it's called the Pineapple Cruise Rim Pack. It's officially called Rim Pack, but the sailors call it the Pineapple Cruise because you go on a 2-month cruise out around the Pacific Ocean, and you stop at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, twice in that 2 months. And we were partying on Waikiki Beach from this bar, and no kidding, the Chicago Bears were there wearing their Super Bowl rings. It was probably 6-7 months after they won. Few months after. That was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was. I can remember sitting at the table with Frazier and another guy, and they both, I can't remember who the other Bears player was, but they both had their Super Bowl rings on. And one of them was from Ohio State, the other one was from Michigan. And they were just yapping back and forth on each other. And then we're just sitting there, and, I'm taking pictures of their Super Bowl ring. Really cool guy. And I see this dude walking through the bar getting escorted out by the big Samoans at the bar on the beach there. And the dude he's got a headband on like McMahon. He's got the glasses. And I look over at Frazier. I go, what's up? Who's that guy? They go, that's McMahon's brother. He's getting escorted out.
Yeah, got the boot.
Riding the coattail.
But anyways, I wish we had those picks, Fleek, back then.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
You can argue that is the '85 Bears could be, probably are the best team of all time.
Well, I would, and maybe I'm a little biased here, but the talent that they had on that team and the way they dominated everybody, I had not seen. The closest I've seen to that is probably Baltimore Ravens when they were at their peak defense. But man, I'll tell you what, that team was low, and God rest his soul, Walter Payton.
Yeah.
He didn't get the touchdown in the '85 Super Bowl, but
was it the Super Bowl that the Fridge scored a touchdown?
Yeah,
the Fridge scored it, and
that was awesome, man. Ain't nobody stopping that big old guy.
Well, if you listen to Ditka these days, he'll tell you his biggest regret was not giving Peyton the chance to score a touchdown. He was so wrapped up in the moment, he said, that he just didn't think about it, and he didn't realize how important it was to Walter Payton. So he kind of lost himself in the moment, and Ditka, he lives with some regrets now because of that. And the team couldn't stay together after that though, because they had too many big characters. They all had commercials. They won the big show, and I think that's what made the team so unique as well, was just the outlandish characters that they had on that team. Really,
the Super Bowl shuffle.
Yeah, they did the Super Bowl. Super Bowl. I mean, that's how good they knew they were.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go. The Bears.
Okay, that's the last time we're gonna hear that shit. I figured out our first episode here, the bowl games, the New Year's Six bowl games start this Friday. So I'm just gonna run them down here real quick. I figured these episodes will probably only last like 20-30 minutes tops. We're just gonna hit a couple things, be on our way. Hopefully, people are listening like us and are willing to shell out a few bucks here and there for, like I said, all proceeds will go to youth sports. And so we have a Facebook group, so I'll put links in the Facebook groups where you can send a few bucks, $1, $5, whatever. And my goal, I would love to see us to be able to sponsor 2 Little League teams by this spring. So.
Yeah, and I think a realistic goal there would be between $300 to $500 to do so. We have a local league that we already know that we want to contribute to, which is the Murfreesboro Little League, a member of Little League International. And so anyway, for those of you in the Tennessee market or beyond, we appreciate it.
Just so you know that George here, he's a head coach of the Angels coach's pitch, and I'm a assistant coach for the same team. And so we would love to sponsor a team in that league, and then also sponsor a team in Paulie's area. So we want to spread the love.
I don't want anybody to get confused. Paul is not one of the participants of the Little League.
No, but he qualifies.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Height and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I
I
just
might, I might be short, and if you're gonna measure midgets, okay. If I'm a midget, then I'm the tallest damn midget out there.
you got that.
Say that because you're just
Hey,
running.
you can't say midget, man. This is 2021, buddy.
Little people.
You're gonna get us kicked off the radio already.
Oh.
All right, so hey, I just want to hit the first game Friday is the Peach Bowl, Michigan State Spartans against Pittsburgh. Now the keynote to a point here is the Michigan State Spartans used to have this defensive coordinator. His name is Pat Narduzzi, and his defenses at Michigan State were legit. They used to be called the no-fly zone. Great defenses for Michigan State. He left to be a head coach at none other than Pitt. So they're going to match up this Friday. This is Michigan State's coach's second year. Last year, I think he won 2 games, 3 games tops. This year, he's at 10 games. He beat
One of the Final Four teams.
Yeah, and he beat one of the Final Four teams. The only loss that Michigan has in state rivalry, Michigan State beat Michigan this year. So let's knock this one out.
All right. I'll comment first. I think the big story is the fact that 2 Heisman candidates, not finalists, but candidates, are not playing in the game. One from Pitt, being the quarterback Trickett, and of course the tailback Walker. Is that right?
Yeah. Kenneth Walker.
Walker have elected not to play, and I think that's a hot button issue during bowl season. It kind of makes it difficult for even college football experts to predict games because they're not sure, how teams work together without some of their top leaders playing.
Yeah, and that brings up a good point. Like, does that start to ruin college football experience? You have the 2 marquee players both sitting out for the NFL draft.
I think I think the biggest news that can come from a player not playing is when one of these days, and it probably will happen, one of these days some elite player is in the playoff and decides not to play in the playoff or the championship game to save himself for the draft. And I think that's when it'll be a really big deal and could be catastrophic for college football. But at this point, it hasn't happened yet. You would hope a competitor wants to win a championship, but I think it does hurt the game because this is a big deal. It's a big bowl game.
So I have some of Walker's numbers just from the Michigan State game. He had 23 touches, 197 yards, a 58-yard run, and 5 touchdowns. That's going to leave a big hole for Michigan State on Friday night.
Yep. Well, Kenneth Walker, he had a great season. He had 18 touchdowns, 1,600 plus yards. So that Michigan State, because now, Pitt, they don't have to put so many people up in the box on defense. They can sit back. And, so to me, that's a disadvantage. Pitt, though, they did really good this year. I mean, they got their first ACC title.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. But on a sidebar, my football coach at high school at Weber High School in Chicago, my varsity coach, he played at Pitt and blocked for Tony Dorsett when he won the Heisman Trophy. John Hanhauser's his name. He's number 64. And he went on to play for the Baltimore Colts, and Tony Dorsett obviously went to play for the Cowboys. So that's just a little sidebar story.
Name the quarterback, Paulie.
Roger Staubach.
No. The quarterback for that Pitt team.
Oh, damn.
Marino?
Yeah, Dan Marino. That's right.
Yeah, Dan Marino. So so that's pretty cool. My football coach played there and all that. But anyways, it's a big loss with the quarterback for Pitt and the running back out for MSU. It's a business, guys. And they're investing in themselves and they're trying to protect their brand.
Yes.
And conflicting to me because I feel like you got a scholarship, you got the opportunity through your college to get. You kind of owe it to them to play, but I'm not the one sitting there waiting for millions of dollars to hit me in
Hey,
a couple
listen, I understand why they're doing it. I just
Right.
hate that they're doing it.
Yeah.
Like I would do the same thing because you're like, in 4 months from now, they're going to be multimillionaires.
Yeah.
This game, it could potentially, it could ruin their career. So
Yeah.
I get it. I just don't like it.
I'm going to take Sparty on that one for the fact that the quarterback's out. And I think that's they're both critical positions, but I think having your quarterback out is going to make a huge difference in that game. Sparty wins.
Before the quarterback decided to sit out this game, Pitt was favored. Now that he's sitting out, Michigan State is now favored today. But it changes daily. But today it swapped. So
But
I'm picking Michigan State too, only because I'm a homer. And I love Michigan State Spartans.
Sparty, hey, that coach really turned that program around from 2 losses or
Yeah.
win
So
this year.
yeah, their 2 losses this year. They only won 2 or 3 games last year, but their 2 losses this year, they got blown out. Their defense is not great, but it's only a second year, so I'm looking for great things from Mel Tucker and the Spartans, and I'm going to go with Sparty on this one. Sparty by 3.
I'm going to go Sparty by 7.
Yeah, I like the way you think.
Even with that connection with your coach.
Yeah, well, next time I see him,
Another thing I don't like is that game is not on January 1st. I hate that.
Yeah, I'm confused by that. They called it New Year's 6.
It's part of the New Year's 6.
And growing up as a kid, that was one of the most magical days. If you're a sports fan, you'd wake up and you already brought in the new year, and you had these great bowl games on. This was long before really BCS and the playoff, and those were just wonderful games to watch. And if you're awarding a team a New Year's 6 bowl, play it on New Year's Day.
Yes.
I agree with you, George.
Yeah.
I don't get December 30th is the game. It's kind of like, okay,
December
well,
30th. Yeah, what the hell's that?
yeah, it's Friday. I mean, okay.
It's not even Saturday.
It's Thursday, actually.
Oh, it's 30th.
Thursday, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, that's crazy. I hate that. So the next game up, the Rose Bowl. We have Utah Utes. I think this is their first championship too, isn't it? This is their first trip to the Rose
Yeah,
Bowl.
so they won the Pac-12 and first trip to the. So the Utes have really been impressive this year. I watched them a few times.
Yeah, they beat the
my
crap out of Oregon. Oregon.
Huh?
Is it Oregon? Oregon.
I believe it's Oregon.
Oregon. They beat Oregon twice.
And Utah, he's from New York. He's a big Utes fan. AJ Jessup, say good luck to your team. Anyways.
Yeah, and they match up with number 6 Ohio, which they got beat up pretty good by Michigan. I didn't see that coming.
The ground game really, really messed them up. Michigan's defense played outstanding. I don't know, man. C.J. Stroud. I'm going Ohio State.
I'm going Ohio State also.
Actually, I'm going with Ohio State too. And he's got that receiving core out there. They combined 200 plus catches and
I'm going
3,000 yards, 31 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be hard for the Utes to stop, I think.
Yeah. I'm going Ohio State by double digits.
Reminds me of that movie, My Cousin Vinny, when the lawyer was like, "These 2 Utes."
These 2 Utes. What's a Ute?
Utes.
A kid from Chicago, Italian Irish neighborhood. I'm in Texas. I've been here forever. I feel like Joe Pesci down here because 25 years in Texas, they say I still have an accent and I can't beat it.
Yeah, and you're short like Joe Pesci also.
Huh?
Vertically challenged.
You're short like Joe Pesci.
I tower over Joe Pesci. He's 5'7".
Come on, man.
5'7".
I don't want to hear it. Are you sitting on a phone book right now?
Anyways, what are we talking?
All right, next up, the Sugar Bowl, January 1st.
I'm going to drink to that.
Ole Miss, Baylor.
The best matchup of the New Year. This is going to be a wonderful game.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for this game. It's going to be awesome. Wonderful game.
It's Lane Kiffin's second season in Oxford. What do you think about Lane Kiffin?
No, I think he's great. I think Ole Miss is lucky that he didn't jump bail like he did with Tennessee before. And there might be, he might have a legitimate shot at getting Arch Manning to play quarterback at Ole Miss one
That'd be
day.
something.
I think he graduates next year. I don't know exactly what his classification is, but I think Ole Miss is in great shape. I mean, their season, what are they, 10-2?
They're
Yeah,
10-2. Yes.
10-2. I mean,
Baylor's,
that's great.
Baylor's 11-2. Yep.
So I think they lost. I know they lost to Alabama. That was the
I was
old
gonna say,
popcorn game. Get
you
your
were at that-
popcorn ready.
You were at that game, right?
No, I went to the Mississippi State
Oh,
game.
Mississippi State.
Yeah, versus Alabama.
You know, I think I'm going to go with Baylor on this, folks, because they've had a huge turnaround in this season.
I'm
You
going
know,
with. Yeah.
They finished 7 last year, and now they won the Big 12. That offensive coordinator, that Jeff Grimes guy, he's really got that offense clicking on all cylinders. I'm going with Baylor over Ole Miss in this one.
I'm going with Ole Miss because quarterback. I'm going to give you some numbers from the quarterback, Matt Corral. 3,339 passing yards, 20 TDs in the air, 597 yards he rushed himself, and he has 11 rushing touchdowns. The kid can move.
And it sounds to me like he is completely committed to playing in this game. In other words, he didn't back out.
Yeah.
I really like the Corral kid. I think Ole Miss is going to win this one.
Yes.
I'm out there on my own then.
You are.
We'll see.
You're out there in Texas all by yourself, buddy. All right.
Hey, did you know that isn't Justin Bieber a big Detroit line?
No, I swear I have pictures of him in the Blackhawks
No, I think-
locker room.
Doesn't he wear that Detroit hat? You know how
No,
they
we don't let the Beavs in Detroit, buddy.
like,
Yeah, even though you could walk to Canada from Detroit, but we don't let them in. The border's closed.
I think he had a Detroit Red Wings hat on like this with his, in a picture I sent you. I think you actually have.
I'm about to hit the mute button right now. Hey, next up, the Cotton Bowl.
Roll Tide.
Alabama, Cincinnati. I'm going
There
to
you
say
go.
right now, Cincinnati don't have a chance.
That's what everybody said about Alabama playing Georgia a couple of weeks ago.
Except for me.
I think yeah.
I
Actually,
told
you
you.
called it. I think there's. I think people are going to be really, really surprised what Cincinnati's actually going to be able to accomplish in this game. I don't know if they'll win, but I think they're going to be a lot more competitive than people would ever anticipate. And like I said, if fans in general didn't learn from what they saw in the SEC championship game, no one predicted Alabama would win that thing the way they did.
Yeah, that was,
Except for Richard.
I literally told him that before the game even started. We were at his house. He had a good buddy that actually he works with now, was over there. Big Georgia fan, talking mad shit. Not just the date, like the whole college football season.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, easy there, buddy. Nick Saban, man.
Mhm.
Nick Saban. You don't
Yeah.
ever count Nick Saban out. Ever. So
thought I heard him in the room.
huh?
Is he in the room?
No. So
When you ask me those kind of questions, it really pisses me off.
this is
And they run through our ass like shit through a tin horn, man, and we could not stop them.
And actually, that last clip Cincinnati could figure something out. They've got a tailback forward who actually used to play for Alabama and transferred. So I mean,
No, George and Cincy, they got some cornerbacks that are really
Mhm.
good.
mhm.
They've all, I think they all have each had 3 interceptions this season. If they can limit Alabama's pass game, of course, we got Bryce, who's the Heisman guy. They at least they stay in the game for a while. But I definitely got Bama rolling over Cincy. And but Cincy, if they can just hold on and kind of stop that pass offense with,
ain't gonna
Bama.
happen.
they
Let me
got
tell
3
you something,
strong.
man. Nick Saban does nothing but churn out Heisman Trophy winners and professional football players. That
Doesn't he?
dude, I don't think he's from this planet.
Well, let's look at the teams down there, folks. LSU, Bama, Auburn. There's a different level of football being played down there.
The SEC's in a whole nother
Yeah, I mean the Big
bubble.
Ten.
And
Uh,
let's get. Hey, I don't want to sound like a homer here because he knows I don't like Alabama.
right.
I don't like them. They win all the time, and being here in Middle Tennessee, literally everybody has a Alabama bumper sticker. I hate it. It's freaking blasphemy. That would never happen in Michigan. Michigan has sucked for a long time. You would never see somebody just rolling around with an Ohio bumper sticker. When you're born in Michigan, you are bred to hate Ohio.
Yeah.
Yep.
It should be the same way in Tennessee. They should hate Alabama.
And it has historically been a huge rivalry. It's just lost a lot of steam lately.
So I don't got no skin in this game because I don't like the SEC.
I
But-
would be remiss if I didn't shout out to my stepson as Tennessee Volunteer. So hey, I like Tennessee. We got
You have another stepson that goes to what, Purdue?
and then Joseph goes to Purdue.
Yeah, that's a great
And-
school.
Yeah, they're both actually first semester. Joseph at Purdue is honor roll, straight A's, and my stepson Andrew in Tennessee's kicking butt, got great grades, and
It's awesome.
like go Owls, go Boilermakers, boom, that's
All right.
it.
I'm going Alabama by 14.
Alabama
Go ahead, George.
under 10.
You say that
I think it's
because
going to be surprising.
you always say that because you're such a homer, man. He's always
Yeah.
so critical, man. They're literally. I've been at his house watching Alabama before. They could be up by 38, like 38-3. Oh,
Right.
imagine that score. And he'd be like, somebody, hey, turn the channel, put another game on. He's like, what? This was not over with. You don't even know what's going to happen. George, they're up by 38, and there's 2 minutes. They're at the 2 minutes. There's 2 minutes left in the game. But you never know. You never know.
Well, he's a character is a like character of Nick Saban, because Nick Saban, if you ever watch him on the sidelines, they could be up by 30 points. He's still out there yelling at his players.
Yeah,
and-
he don't let. He does not let up.
He doesn't have, I'm gonna go with Bama. Bama rolls over Cincy.
Yeah.
Plus 14.
Yeah, definitely plus 14 for sure. Orange Bowl. This would be a good one. Michigan, Georgia. I think Georgia whoops that ass. Whoops that ass.
Not so
Hey.
fast, my friend.
Hey,
I just say that because I hate Michigan. I'm from Michigan and I hate Michigan.
hey,
The
Michigan had a big,
school.
they beat Ohio State. Harbaugh got Coach of the Year.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah. Fuck Jim Harbaugh
that is
and his
sports
khakis.
party right there. Party
Hey, I
right
swear we're going to use our money for youth sports, but just don't let your kids listen to the show. I don't like Michigan. I think they do have a great team this year, and I am going to say Georgia by 10, but that's only because I dislike Michigan. Sparty all the way, bro.
I think Michigan, if they get 245 plus yards in the game, that's what they've been averaging 245 yards a game this year. Usually they win those games. So if Georgia can't stop that run with Michigan, that could present problems for.
But here's the thing: Michigan really hasn't played anybody this year. Ohio State wasn't that impressive. Michigan State beat them, and the
Right.
Big Ten is not the SEC. They love to think that they can hang with the SEC. They cannot. Michigan.
I'm sorry for all
I mean,
my
Georgia. Take
my
that back,
northern-
Georgia.
northern folks up there. I'm sorry, but the football down here with
Yeah.
these big Alabama, LSU, Auburn,
It's crazy.
just no comparison, man. These boys,
Yeah.
they're different
Yeah.
down here. That's all I can say.
Yeah. So he gives me shit all the time. I went to the Cotton Bowl, about 7-8 years ago?
Mhm.
It was the very first college football playoff.
Yeah.
It was Michigan State and Alabama. Me and my buddy drove down to Dallas, Texas. We went to the game, and I was talking mad shit, dude. I was talking so much shit. Even like at the end of the game, I never let up, man. I was still talking shit, but I wasn't being a dick about it. So after the end of the game, everybody that was in my area, I was talking shit to. We went to the bar and I was buying everybody shots. I still talk shit all the way to the end, man. It was embarrassing, man. It was so embarrassing, but it was a great experience to go to that game.
Yeah.
Who do you got?
Man, I really want to take Michigan here. The only thing that holds me back is
Because you
I don't
hate
see-
Georgia.
no, I don't hate Georgia. My wife
You
is a
lie.
Georgia fan. No,
She's
I
not
like 'em.
listening. You can say it.
Yeah. But I think what beats Georgia is a really good quarterback, and I don't know if I can really recall many awesome passing games from Michigan. It's been a lot of run games, and Georgia's defense can really defend the run well. I don't know, man. I'll take Georgia by a field goal.
I'm going with Georgia. Defense wins the games.
Yes.
Georgia ranked in the top with defensive scoring. And I think Georgia's got a chip on their shoulder after losing to Alabama and dropping the number 1 seed. I'm going with Georgia for the win.
Yeah. Michigan's defense is no joke. That Aiden Hutchinson kid, he is legit. I would love to see him in a Lions jersey next year. It's probably not going to happen. But, yeah, Georgia all the way. Okay, that wraps up the show, guys.
Sweet. Do we have one more? Is it
I think that was it. Did we miss
Fiesta?
one?
The Fiesta Bowl?
Oh,
Yeah.
man, did I miss one?
Maybe. The matches up Oklahoma State and
I did
Notre
miss
Dame.
one. My bad. We're back. We're back
Oh,
live.
we're back.
The nosebleed. That's why we're called the nosebleed reports.
don't know
man.
what's going
We
on. We're
don't
not on
know
the
shit,
sideline.
man. We're like up there
Like,
drinking
wait.
beer. We're like literally the only thing behind us are the field lights.
In the skyline.
Yeah. And
I mean,
the beer guy. All right, who we got?
The way the team reacted to the announcement of the new head coach after Kelly left,
Yeah.
I thought they really looked ignited and they were really happy. Forgive me for not knowing his name off the top of my head.
Mark Freeman.
Okay, so because of that, because of what
Notre-
I saw when they announced him and the team, the way they got together, Notre Dame is riding on a high right now. They're going to win.
I hate Notre Dame. I'm going with Oklahoma.
Oklahoma State.
I hate Notre Dame about as much as I hate Ohio.
I'm going with Oklahoma myself because I can't stand Notre Dame, and I know I'm from up there.
Yeah.
I grew up in Chicago. Indiana's in South. Notre Dame's in South Bend, Indiana. People. So
Yeah.
if you got Northwestern and University of Illinois, you can root for. But it seems like a lot of people in Chicago, they tend to go towards South Bend for Notre Dame, and I'm just not a fan of Notre Dame. I think they got a strong defense and all that, and a good running back with Jalen Warren or what have you. But if you're talking X's and O's, I think Oklahoma's a better team. And Notre Dame's got a lot of clout.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get up in ranks just because of who they are and how many pockets they're in
Yeah.
my opinion. So
Here's my take.
well-
Notre Dame, go play a championship game, then we'll talk.
yeah,
Until then, I don't want to hear from you.
And
Yeah.
you have to keep in mind this year's only loss is to a Final Four team, Cincinnati. So, they could be playing in a playoff game had they beaten Cincinnati, which Cincinnati beat them. I think it was by 4 or 5 points. I'd have to look it up, but it was a pretty close game. But Cincinnati survived it, and that's the reason Notre Dame's not playing in the playoff.
Yeah. And they don't play in the championship game. And I'm not a fan of Cincinnati. Navy took Cincinnati all the way to the wire.
Yeah, well, the military schools are really difficult to play. Any coach would tell you that. It's hard
Yeah.
to prepare for that when that style of football is.
By the way, Navy beat Army this year.
Yes, they did. Yes, they
Yes.
did.
hey Rich, do you have a site people can go to donate?
So I don't have one yet, but I'll have links on our social media. So if you're out there listening to us, we have a Facebook group. Look for the Nosebleeds Report. And within the next 24 hours, I will have a link where you can donate some money. Like I said, all the money will go to underprivileged kids so they can play sports. I think it's a great idea. We have great vision here. And like I said, me and George both coach, but the money won't go to that team. We're going to find a special team. And then once we get going and we have a team, we're going to be interviewing the coaches of the Little League team and maybe a kid or two. Man, I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, Yeah.
We got a lot of great ideas for this show. Like I said, this is only our first one, and you know, I don't know how good the sound is or the video is, but we're definitely working on it, and we're striving to be the best show that we can. And you know, we don't expect to be picked up by ESPN anytime soon, but we're gonna have fun doing what we do.
We're just three regular guys that like sports.
Yes.
That's all.
Well, two and a half regular guys. So here's the deal for you guys listening. Send myself a friend request and send Paulie a friend request, and just sit back and watch the banner on social media. Like if you didn't know us, people would literally be like, "What the shit is going on?" Hey,
You know,
like I said, we served in the military together, so I've known this meathead for over 30 years, since January. I showed up January 1985. He was already there. He was my host during the crossing of the equator, shall I say. He had already done it, so he was there whooping my ass for about 12 hours. It was great. So I'm not a wog anymore, buddy. I earned my stripes.
There, I watched you go through it.
All right, man. Till next time. I don't know where we're gonna do this. Once a week for right now. Every other week. I don't know.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next week, man. Thanks a lot for tuning in.
See ya.